Maybe a bit of pizza.
We're still going.
Are we on air?
Oh,
Oh,
hello and welcome to the Global Poker League. We're live again this Wednesday night.
They could have told us that we were back on air.
It's pizza night here
Pizza
at the
night.
GPL, right?
Yeah,
Pizza and
gong night.
Sorry, I'm still swallowing my pizza.
They just didn't tell us we were going back on air.
Welcome
How
back, guys.
embarrassing! Caught eating on national television.
National
TV?
television.
Yeah.
We'd be lucky.
Yeah, we'll be lucky. Maybe one day.
Maybe. We'll see. We hope you've enjoyed the show so far this evening. We've seen an epic game already play out between Nan Oko, Randy Liu of the Hong Kong Stars, and Igor Kurganov of the London Royals. How did it work out?
That was, Igor went one game down. We thought it was going to be another kind of rough night for Igor. Wasn't getting the sort of the run of the cards in that first game, but he just turned it right around, turned the game on his head.
Didn't he?
Randy thought he was going to, he had a spring in his step. He was flicking his gong, and then Igor, he just pulled out a bigger gong and just turned it around 2-1. I mean,
gong off.
Yeah, it was a fall from grace for Randy Liu of epic proportions there. But yeah, great drama on the GPL, and the audience were loving it. There was some pizza chat. Selena Lynn, Liv, all the team managers
Everyone
were
getting involved.
Getting involved in some pizza chat.
We hope you're still there as well.
They'll be back.
Who
wouldn't be back after their first game? Standings.
Let's take a look at the standings.
Eurasian Conference. See how they're affected by that first match.
Well, they are affected quite massively because the London Royals were almost down in 5th yesterday, weren't they?
They were indeed. Up to 2nd. I mean, it shows how close this league is compared with the Americas Conference. 20 points separating the top and bottom. But more importantly, you got those, 8 points separating 2nd and 4th, and that was only 4 points at the start of the night. Rome have got a lot of work to do. Timothy Adams.
Can Timothy Adams do that work?
But he's going to run into a man in form in George Danzer. Needing points, both of these sides needing points. Paris, as you see there, just one place off the dungeon of non-qualification for the playoffs. So Georgie Danzer is a man in form. Coming off a couple of live results at Eureka Hamburg, won the high roller. Came 9th in the main event after chip leading the whole way through, and then we saw him last night in the Six Max and just making great reads and. Would have made one of the best calls of the GPL.
He's such a good guy.
Look at him, his hair's up.
Smile, he's always jovial. He's just an entertainer, isn't he?
There you go. Nice guy. 2.7 million in earnings. Best GPL rank of 17. 3 World Series of Poker bracelets. Been getting results for a decade. And just really one of the.
I didn't realise he was that old.
One of the George Danzer is actually 36.
Yeah.
One of the.
He seems younger, doesn't he? I guess that's
he's
his
got that
personality.
Boyish charm.
It's kind of jovial. Yeah.
Well, he's been one of the shining lights of the GPL. We haven't quite seen as much of him as we might have done because he's only played 4 times.
Has he?
Yeah, feels like it's a lot more.
He's played a lot more. Yeah.
But he's done okay.
Yesterday
he swept Igor Kurganov in the first time.
That was a while ago,
and he won his only six max match. So he did lose to Mustafa Kanit and Anatoly Filatov.
Well, you know what, Mustafa Kanit.
It's hard to be that
hard.
guy.
It's George Danzer, Mustafa Kanit.
Mustafa Kanit? I haven't seen him for
nice
a while. Why is Max Pescatore refusing to field his number 1 draft pick?
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
Well, George Danzer made George Danzer made Max Pescatore fall off his seat yesterday.
Yeah, we
saw a lot of Tim Adams.
We saw a lot of crashing and burning yesterday. Tim Adams has made a bit of a recovery, so it's going to be tough. Neither of these players are liable to make too many mistakes in heads-up play. I feel like George Danzer's got a bit of swagger. He's got a bit of momentum. He's fun on camera. He's great to see on camera. We know Timothy Adams is slightly more reserved. Doesn't quite give out as much.
He's still a good guy.
Great guy. Oh, absolutely. But
he's just moved as well. Actually, I saw a view that he posted from his new place, and it looks beautiful.
Oh,
there they are. Oh, look.
There we go. George Danzer, same spot as yesterday. Hair
do it.
On point.
How does he get his hair to stay up like that? What on earth does he put in that?
Do you think he must electrocute himself,
and then put glue in it?
Electrical pulses, maybe.
Well, what's he drinking? That's a fun mug.
I'm sure Eric.
And who was that in the back of?
I don't know.
Tim.
That's just a TV, I guess.
Yeah, but no, there was a person.
Maybe that's the. Maybe he's
Oh,
watching
there she
the.
is. Oh, she's gone.
Yeah,
Where's
who
she
knows?
gone?
Maybe he's watching the GPL draft.
Or over and over on loop.
He wants to relive those great moments. You know, Phil Hellmuth, Daniel Negreanu, Holly Saunders, Eric Denis.
Holly Saunders.
What? I mean, that was a great night. I mean, why would you not want to relive that night?
I had fun. We were out in Beverly Hills, LA. You weren't.
I was watching on Twitch from Malta, like 6 in the morning, as they selected players very, very slowly.
Well, Eric Denis has let us know that is a hockey preview going on behind him.
Oh, he's Canadian, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe it was.
He's in Toronto.
The man with the answers.
What do you think George has got in those files, bottom right? Do you think they're all his poker files?
I think potentially
ingoings and outgoings.
It could be like measurements of his
Aggressive
hair.
Of his hair, how much
hair
it's
measurements,
grown
yeah.
in past
Stats,
months.
hair stats. I don't know.
Maybe he's got like stats on other poker players' hair as well.
If I knew he was linear or polarized, that would make a huge difference for this hand.
Just going to finish off my pizza while he's talking.
Does linear and polarized get your blood racing?
It does.
I think they've muted your microphone because you're eating. George is playing from Salzburg, Austria.
I wanted everyone to hear me eat. It's not like a sexy noise.
Apologies for the unprofessional behaviour of my co-host, everyone. So, she'll be called in with HR first thing tomorrow morning.
I'm really worried.
And still, she continues to eat pizza, despite it.
I've stopped.
Despite being reprimanded by the producer.
I'm going to bang my gong in a minute too.
Surprisingly short on gongs in the studio. I did have a little look around for a sort of makeshift gong. Felt like felt very appropriate, but didn't quite couldn't find it. I mean, a plate was the nearest thing I could find, and I don't really think. I think after Igor and Nananoko's like highly professional gongs, a plate wouldn't have really cut the mustard.
No. Mustard on a pizza. What do you think?
Wouldn't go for it myself.
No. Maybe like roast beef and mustard pizza.
More of a. Oh. Got Always hilarious antics at the top of the show. Meanwhile, Timothy Adams here, ace king on a queen 9-5 board. Looks like the action may have gone check on the flop. George with a gut shot.
Oh,
and
there's an ambulance or a police coming for someone.
And George probably trying to figure out whether to bluff at this pot. He has the mighty 10 high. Going to give this.
He got a lot more aces than I have here.
And Tim probably going to look to try and get some value. It looks like George has given up too much, given up his interest in this pot. Looks somewhat puzzled, but and George taking a surprising amount of time to give up the 10-8 here. I don't know if he's plotting something or whether he's whether his connection has suffered. He's really giving it some thought. And apologies if.
Damn it.
Okay. Well, order is resumed. And full pot there for Timothy Adams. Timothy Adams got off to a wretched start in the GPL. He lost his first four heads-up matches. He went down to Justin Bonomo in week 1, Sergei Lebedev week 3, Sorel Mitzi in week 8, and Kevin McPhee couldn't win a match. But then he pulled it back with 2 consecutive victories. One of those in the queue, coming against Phil Galfond of the San Francisco Rush, and of course that sweep in week 9 against Wayne Zhang of the Hong Kong Stars. So Timothy managed to turn around his sort of slightly worrying start. Probably not, didn't do too much wrong. Was defeated last week.
Yo, Tim, chill.
See Timothy in the 6-max matches last week. Only managed to add 3 points in 2 6-max matches. So resulting in a 42% points efficiency for Tim, something he'd probably like to improve upon. It's not the best hand in this pot. May like to go for value here, but there's not a huge number of hands, especially with the 6 pairing, that could pay off a bet. Possibly some small pocket pairs, or possibly some gut shots. A hand like King Jack would have got there on this river, and some gut shots would have made a pair. So Tim elects to check back. George electing not to bluff. So second time George could have looked to turn the bottom of his range into a bluff. George, both players with a reasonable ace here, so I imagine 3-bet will be something considered by Tim. Yeah, going to pop it up to 5,000, just over 3.5x. George in position here. Would be surprising if he elected to give up the ace 8. Bit of a whiff for George. Follow the GPL on Twitter, guys. We had a really fun first session.
Yeah,
a lot of
fold to a continuation bet, because I expect him to give up quite a bit with his crappy 3-bets on King Queen 4. Hey, that does.
Use the hashtag GPL if you want to get your thoughts spotted, seen by us. Also, use the Twitch chat function to chat along with us. And of course, we have the GPL TV app, which is available on iOS and Android.
Difficult start.
Catch up on all GPL matches previously held. Get the upcoming matches and all player stats, and lots more, including the merchandise store, where you can buy hoodies, caps, and T-shirts of your favorite GPL franchise. Those of you following the GPL Twitter account will notice a few guys. Seem to be a few Moneymakers fans out there.
Yeah, even though they are the worst.
Indeed. Well, I mean, on paper, yes, but perhaps. Both these players showing they're happy to fold their real ugly hands. We'll
4, 8, 30, 40 something bigs. Pocket 8s is close.
Tim was just queen high here. Be contemplating bluffing at this one, and yeah, pretty rough run out for George. Interesting to see whether Tim turns his hand into a... Okay, yeah, Tim certainly would have got George off his hand there.
We have to enjoy the small ones. If you have a bad start.
Interesting lighting in Casa Adams.
Casa Adams.
Looks slightly movie villain-esque.
I can't see it.
It's got bright sunshine on one side of his face.
Do you think he's got a mirror so he can see what's going on in the hockey or whatever it is?
I think he's focusing his attentions on the GPL, Laura.
Yeah.
Great turn card for Tim here. George flopped 2 pair in this pot. Tim with a gut shot, now with a flush draw to go with his gut shot, and I'm sure some more chips will be going into this pot.
On the check, we would fire a lot.
I love George's
I can bet a
accent.
little bit bigger on that one.
And certainly a few interesting cards that could hit the river here. 8 of hearts is certainly one of them. King of hearts. And Tim rivering a flush. Checking to George. Looking pained.
Problem is that he has a 4 a lot here, or a backdoor flush draw. So I'm not getting value from a 4. He's not folding 2 pair, so I can't value bet it. I mean, a slow played. I mean, ace jack, he was 3-betting. King queen, he's not calling on the turn. I don't see value only against he has the 4 too often. Check behind.
Great check by
that's
George.
when the backdoor flush draw is very likely if we don't have a 4. So I think we saved a bunch with our 2 pair there. Ooh la la!
Ooh la la.
Very sound analysis from George Danzer. More or less called.
Yeah, I know most of the people would value bet that, but it didn't make sense.
George down to 30 big blinds in the early goings here. Tim looking very villainous and very businesslike over there. Either player.
Jack 7 is close, but we are shallow enough. You want to be shallower with hands like that.
I've got breaking news about the Paris Aviators.
So you can't make huge mistakes.
The Aviators mascot, Mango. It's his birthday. And that is Mike Lear's dog.
Always bring you the best scoops in the GPL.
I don't know how old Mango is today, but he's looking fine. And I hope he got a nice birthday doggy treat. What would you give Mango for his birthday treat?
Just want to make him fold a queen. You're probably even calling king high.
I don't really agree with dog birthdays because dogs don't know it's their birthday.
Get out of here. Get out of here right now.
Yeah, I'm going to be... I may have made myself unpopular.
You always... I don't agree with your birthday then.
But I do have some awareness that it's my birthday when it is my birthday. Dogs, I mean, dogs, you know...
How do you know what goes on in a
We
dog's
have a
brain?
3-betting hand.
I don't know. Couple of
Oh, hello.
reasonable hands here. Interesting to see how George maneuvers his 32 blind, big blind stack.
Mango is 11 years old today. That is good for doggy years. That's 77.
Yeah, Mango's hasn't got long left.
Get out of here, Roland. I've had enough of you.
George gets out flopped here by Tim, and George probably feel comfortable about continuing on this flop. May feel like the queen hits Tim's range better than his, but he elects to check. And actually, this is a very well-timed slowdown. Looks like he may be giving up on the hand. Almost certainly going to see a bet from Tim here. Very small bet, just under a third pot. And George will almost certainly give us some
there
thoughts.
Is a sigh, isn't it?
Sip of the green tea.
Do you think that's what it is, green tea?
And he looks like a healthy chap, doesn't he? I don't think he's probably not like Eric Dennis healthy, but like probably like middling healthiness.
5-6 suited, 6-7 suited. It's not that many hands.
No.
But he bet Jack 10 here. He probably shouldn't, because he's blocking ace 10, ace jack, stuff that I might check fold here.
Good instincts there by George. Very tough opponent to extract any value from. I mean, we've just seen him make some great reads this week, Laura. Are you impressed
Down
with
to min raising.
George
I'm
Danzer?
still absolutely thinking about that comment about poor Mango.
Oh,
Mike Lear's going to be after you.
I don't mean like Mango may have like some great years left. It was just hinting at the fact that he is getting on a bit.
Mike Lear is like well into his sports. Pretty sure he could have you.
Mike Lear, I'm sorry. I'm a big Mike Lear fan. Maybe he'll give me some.
Well, if you're a big Mike Lear fan, you should be a big Mango fan.
I'm a big
So
Mango
you shouldn't
fan.
be saying that Mango's gonna depart the world
No,
soon.
that was not what I
Slowing.
suggested.
You think it was?
Tim flopping a pair here. Not very much going the way of George so far. Paris Aviators did start the day in second place in the Eurasian standings. They were overtaken by the strong performance by Igor Kurganov. London Royals have leapfrogged them to second place. Tim going for a little bit of value, and River's a full house as he Tim's eating something. I'll try and didn't look like a pizza, disappointingly.
Oh,
I don't know, how can
shame.
you not get on board? See, pizza, Tim, is the official food of the GPL, even though we're trying to sportify poker. Actually, he's probably doing a better job at sporting poker than we are.
I think Mango's sporting poker. Sportifying poker.
You can't just answer Mango to everything I say.
Yeah, I can.
There from now. What do you think of George's play here?
Mango.
What's your favorite?
Mango.
What's your favorite tropical fruit?
Mango.
What's your favorite type
Mango.
of sorbet?
Mango.
What's your favorite fruit with a stone in it?
Mango.
This is.
It's a good
We're
game.
not going to reach the heights of game one, are we, Laura? It's gonna we're down in the doldrums. Anyway, George, meanwhile, is down to about 13, 14 big blinds. And he'll be looking to get this stack in fairly sharpish.
Do you think George and Tim have got gongs?
I think we're going to see
It would be nice to make a pair from time to time. Come on.
I think we're going to see an unfortunate lack of gongs.
Yeah, this is looking very lacking.
These two are very businesslike. I don't think Tim spends too much time bashing a gong.
Come on, guys, bash them gongs.
Okay, so
Queens,
So we need a
finally.
balance here. We
Tim-
need some trap limbs. Queen is perfect with 10 big blinds to trap limb.
okay, he gets the trap that he was hoping for, and George will be doubling up, borrowing a king or something funky, and there it is.
Oh, come on.
Oh, man, he's getting
Oh, dear.
unlucky in this one,
Georgie,
huh?
Porgy, pudding and pie, found queens, but got beaten by king high. And bad run out there for Georgie Danzer. He'll be
What a match.
victory, a
was just
spoonful
like
of
a
salad from Timothy Adams there. I'm not sure it was a salad, but and we've lost
Where did we
ourselves.
go?
Where do we go? Poor George there, couldn't make a pair, couldn't get queens to hold up.
He just
couldn't
got
get-
unlucky there, didn't he?
Yeah, he was in with a great shot to get back to around 30,000.
You know what? When I play poker,
Yeah.
that's generally what
You play
happens.
poker? Oh.
I do sometimes.
You got a cash on Hendon, haven't you? Ladies event in Tallinn.
One cash.
What's your GPI position?
Probably like 17 million, 3,000.
That's better than 18 million. Anyway, unlucky there for George. But Timothy Adams and the Rome Emperors really need the points, so you
Yeah.
can sort of allow them a little bit of luck. We don't want anyone to be cut adrift like those money makers, do we? I mean,
The money makers are just like floating away
know, and
on
I
their
f-
own
yeah.
like log, like miles
Yeah.
and miles away.
see, they've been too busy making money and not enough time spent making points.
The Rome
'Cause-
Emperors at least are kind of got a rope that's sort of attached to the
Yeah,
to the rest.
the fall of the Roman Empire hasn't quite been sealed, and
Gosh.
Tim is acting Julius Caesar, leading his troops into battle.
Tim,
And
well done. 3 points. Can he make it a clean sweep?
I
wanna
think
get your
I mean
room out.
Jordan,
You
George
wanna
is
get your room out.
George is a really tough player to win any chips off. He always just seems to make the right decision. We saw a couple of spots there where where George, he 3-bet ace king. Found a spot where a lot of players would 3-bet on queen 3 deuce, but George, his spider senses are really on point, and he was.
Spider-Man.
I mean, I don't know what he doesn't. I don't know what he dresses up as in his spare time, but I don't know. His hair looks like it could have had some spider's web. Some of Spider-Man's
man.
go web in it.
I wonder if you actually,
Massage
like,
into your hair.
Pushed it, whether it
Thank
would-
God we're going to the
whether
game
it could-
because
yeah.
this hair chat is
Oh.
getting out of hand.
Well, they've
Okay,
swapped.
to make it even, I should get aces against kings first hand. Ah, no.
You should, George.
You
yeah,
could
that's
get
6-7.
Jack 7 against King 6. That was a fairly swift game. George just really losing every meaningful pot there. And Timothy continuing to flop. Superior hands to George.
Good stuff. To get a couple of barrels in.
Oh, what is Tim having a munch on here?
He's got
Salad, by the looks of
got
things.
some sort of culinary,
Looks healthy.
some sort of culinary
Healthier than our
infusion
pizza.
going on. And George firing off chips into the abyss here. Chips that he's unlikely to end up back in his stack at the end of the hand.
No barrels.
Oh, possibly a misclick there from Tim Adams.
Nice.
Pretty sure he meant to. I mean, nice angle if he it was a deliberate misclick,
He,
but
he
almost
did that last time. isn't it?
chances are he did mean to make that
Maybe
1,000.
have king 4.
Quite a
I
big
could
bet,
reshuffle.
wasn't it?
I mean, arouses some suspicion, given he had pretty much had the nuts, but I think we can chalk that one off to an innocent misclick for Tim. And again, George Danzer flopping the second best hand, and making the second best hand is a really good way to lose poker.
It is a
games.
good way to lose poker.
I'm really good at it.
Yeah.
It's almost my speciality. And I mean, the card that would possibly slow things down here. Don't imagine either of these players will be too thrilled.
I think it's
about
gonna be time
going
for
for
a hero
value.
call. He doesn't have too many king combinations. I don't think he bets a king, jack, king, queen there on the turn. I think he would check call that. So most of his draws, he has jack 7, 4, 5, 4, 6, 2 spades. Now in this scenario, most of the hands, he's value betting good tens, of course, but on the king he might even check it. So now the balance is much more bluffs, so we have to hero call. Oh, come on.
And yeah, George actually pipped there, and
Was that
actually
a
very
value
nice.
bet or?
Pretty
I
nice.
mean, I don't have a lot of nines. I check behind the 10. I guess either he saw my hand or he was bluffing. Because it doesn't make sense to value bet ace 9 in that spot. He should value bet only the tens after the king shows up on the river.
Middle set for Tim, and George is
Nice hand though.
I mean, pretty insane value bet there from Timothy Adams. If it wasn't a bluff, just pretty much targeting the exact hand that George had. And George going to lose possibly some more chips here.
Oh, George, it's not going your way today, is it?
Well, I mean, you do sometimes
And
just
it
need
depends a little bit. If he says I'm gonna call even a 3, or let's say 4s to 8s, it might be good enough to value bet ace 9.
Did you see Max?
Because most of the gut shots that have a king, I would conti bet. So yeah.
Into the mind of Georgie
That
Danzer.
was quite nice.
Tim with a big overbet there.
Have to do the math. Because it was an interesting spot. Have to do the math on that one after the match.
Don't forget the final game, which is happening tonight in the Eurasian head-to-head match. We have Jungle Man back, playing Andrei Petachuk of the Moscow Wolverines. Jungle Man is of course representing the Berlin Bears. They need to get a bit ferocious tonight.
Another hand we want to call, but with this odds, we have to go.
And Tim in a spot where Randy Liu found himself in, with second pair in the board pairing, and Randy electing to check back in that spot. Really similar spot there, and Tim...
time to make some pairs.
Doesn't want to make a pair of 9s in this hand. Imagine we'll see a 3-bet from Tim. Glimpse of the bicep on Timothy Adams there. Pretty impressive bicep. No Olivier Busquet. And George slipping to it's still pretty calm. Blind's still 3-6. But really can't connect with too many flops. Hear the sound of dishes.
Who's doing the dishes?
Oh, someone's got their house in order. Sounds like they've got the good china out.
The way this board was developing, it
George
was okay to just check down and check high.
George,
now, this
finally,
sucks again, because this is a spot for hero call again, but then he should be I should have a lot of queens and jacks.
Frustratingly,
After
George.
checking twice, I should have a lot of queens and jacks, so I have to fold.
George finally makes a pair and ends up having to lay it down. Really smart river bluff by Timothy. And George picks up queens here, so won't need to make a pair. Picks up the damas. They like to say in
The what?
dama.
Dama.
That's how the Italians say queen.
Like dame.
Yeah, a little bit.
Dama. Ooh,
Was it
finish that
noodles?
dinner off.
Noodles,
Yeah,
potentially?
Looked like salad
A
earlier.
little noodly to me. Yeah, a noodle salad.
Looked a bit salady.
Let's face it, this guy probably doesn't eat too many kind of non-salady things. I saw a pretty impressive bicep. George, once again, struggling to connect.
If I have one spade, I'm calling even with king high. Ace high, we would bet call the flop. But king high with no spade, and not too nice overcards like king, queen, king, jack, we should call too if we bet it.
Tim putting together a nice little run of pots there. Didn't really have much of a hand in any of them. And after George certainly getting unlucky in the first game numerous times, but Tim certainly having the.
It's always when you're not running so good, not making any pairs, you always want to fold like 10-3 from the button, but you have to fight through it. Just play like you always play.
It's a bit of danger here for George Danzer. Certainly doesn't want to see a 6 peel on the turn. Timothy with a much stronger position in this hand with 2 overs and a gut shot. George going for a pretty small C bet. And George with a tough spot here, trying to figure out whether to continue with the aggression. Interesting to see how the river action goes. Tim's already put in a couple of river bluffs consecutively. George will not have seen them yet on the delayed feed. Tim will, of course, be bluffing with the best hand should he take a stab here. And nothing really going the way of George. Wry smile.
I need a little something to fight back.
He needs a little something.
10 high call.
What's that
is
something?
Not
Well, a pair will,
right
I think, be a good
play
start for
on this
George.
board.
A little something like a pair.
I don't know. Maybe it has 8-9 and then it would be the right play. Or 6-9. But that would be a little bit too optimistic. How deep are we? Still over 30 bigs?
How deep are our stacks?
How deep is your stack? Is your stack?
It's
How
close
deep
to
is your
8
stack?
I really
30
need
bigs.
to know.
Another pot goes the way of Timothy Adams, and I think that's about 5 in a row. George needs to turn the tide.
The tide is high.
Things getting tuneful here. Tim could just shove on George here. George down to 23 big blinds. And in it goes for Tim, and George will fortunately have to let that one go. Down to 23 big blinds now. And not going the way of the Aviator.
They are not flying high in the sky.
No. Well, bit of a stall, you might say,
They're
for the Aviators.
failing to get up off the ground
Indeed.
today. Our French crew won't be happy about this.
I mean, when the Aviators are flying high, the amount of French coming in.
A couple of the worst ones.
I kind of wanted George
It's
to
not
win.
easy today.
I wanted to find out what's in those files. Those folders down there.
Yeah, maybe we'll turn things around. He looks like an organised guy, probably as it counts.
He's German.
Yeah.
All Germans are organised.
Some players just submit their Hendemar profiles for. Actually, it's a pretty bad, not a wise decision to do that.
Lying. We have a lot of
Yeah.
Who's George talking to?
Mrs. Danzer?
Or maybe he's just got an imaginary friend.
This will be what I thought would be all in, but George goes for the trappy limp.
Pedro says, "More pizza!
I think
finished
we'll
all my
pizza it
pizza!
out.
I finished it! I'm hungry still! I want some more pizza!"
Well, George has a cool little pizza this flop with a gut shot.
I think I can smell your feet.
I mean, I'm
And
wearing
it's more
flip-flops.
cheesy than
More
my
cheesy
pizza.
than the pizza that. I mean, does putting my feet into my flip-flops
No.
change
doesn't help.
anything? Possibly not. George taking down a couple of pots up to 23 big blinds.
Someone on Twitch, I can't see the name because I think it's in white, says, "Is George a small guy or was that a huge cup?" I think it was quite a huge cup.
I didn't see the cup.
It was pretty big. In fact, I would like a cup like that.
I mean,
Love having a big cup of tea.
Whether George is a small or a tall guy depends heavily on where you measure him to, whether you measure him to his head or to the top of his hair.
That is very true.
Makes a
because
huge difference.
His hair is a third of his face.
If you don't count his hair, he's essentially the
Almost half.
Tyrion Lannister of the GPL.
Is
if
what's that?
a very small person. If you count to the top of his hair, he's like the Michael Jordan of the GPL.
Steven von Zollhoff was like the Michael Jordan of the GPL.
Oh, he's the Viking of the GPL.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well cultivated beard has Steven van Zalhoff. Maybe we'll get Steven van Zalhoff back one day. That guy certainly knows how to
doesn't flop that good.
analyze a poker hand.
He sure does. As did Jonathan Little.
Indeed. That hair looks like a toothbrush. That's pretty funny, actually.
Does a little bit.
A toothbrushy.
Wonder whose mouth he'd like to scrub.
It'd have to be a bloody big mouth. It could be like a toothbrush for a blue whale.
That's an image.
And if poker doesn't work out for George, SeaWorld could always come calling.
I don't think they have blue whales in SeaWorld.
No, I mean you've got to start somewhere. if you want that
You could start some dolphins.
whale toothbrush career to take off.
It's 9, we have to call the push.
A pregnant mohawk.
I think we're going to stick with whale's toothbrush for now.
Whale's
This
toothbrush.
this could spell bad news for
hello.
George Danzer.
Hold me closer, Georgie Danzer.
20 big blinds. That's just a repush.
It's going to run into the kings of Tim, and this could be a very brief 24 hands. Needs the ace or some running straight cards. Possibly an 8 for the sweat. That's no help. George will need an ace and an ace only, or Timothy will be guaranteed victory here. There it is. King's holding there,
Catching
and
a break. It's
things
just
not
good hand
not
against
going
good
the
hand.
way of George Danzer.
Okay, let's get one.
Oh,
Georgie,
Dancer. I just want to hold him closer. You know, what can you
2-0 down
do?
to Timothy Adams. Great performance, by the way, by Timothy Adams. It was really on the money in that game. He did benefit from the the run of the cards, but made some really nice river bluffs. Picked up a lot of the smaller pots, often with the worst hand. So credit where it's due to Tim Adams. I mean, in the end, George ace jack suited against kings with 24 big blinds. Not really going to go down any other way.
It's true.
What were your thoughts on the final hand?
Yeah, good hand.
For Tim?
Got it in. Good. Well done, Tim.
Really high-level analysis here from my
No, what I am so
commentator.
excited.
What George Danzer's future career as a whale toothbrush?
It's a whale's toothbrush.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say Max is going to be happy.
Oh yeah, no, it's great to see a smile on the face of Max Pescatore. We saw him fall off his chair yesterday, getting a bad beat. And,
see, this is fate. You see, this is coming back.
It's Prego and Bella for the.
Prego.
Doesn't that mean great?
Or Karma even.
I don't
like,
mind.
Kind of. Because obviously Max had that
Bella for the.
Max had that horrendous bad beat yesterday where he fell off the chair, flush against flush. You know, it was such a hand.
Yeah.
And, you know, tonight, look, Rome Emperors all over the Paris Aviators and George Danzer. 6 points now. They've won the match. They are on for the sweep. This could be so great for the Rome Emperors.
6 points guaranteed for Timothy Adams. George got to pull something back for the Paris Aviators. He scored maximum points in his 6 max match, dropping pens.
He
got
loves
another one.
chucking these pens.
Got
That's all you do.
another
Just
opportunity
throwing
to
pens
put some
everywhere.
points. George, very dominant yesterday and really, hitting nice flops and playing well. Hasn't had the run of the cards so far tonight. Seems to be flopping lots of second best hands and also getting pushed out of a lot of pots by Tim. Tim really knowing when to barrel these rivers. He's obviously an excellent high-level thinker. Certainly not a player to go down without a fight. Yeah, or certainly not a player I'd like to get heads up with or play in any format with. Someone did ask in the Twitch, who's playing tonight, Laura?
What, the next game? Oh, I'm so excited.
Going into the jungle.
Do you know what, though? He always does this, where he says he's going to play, and then he doesn't show up for the game.
He's a mercurial
that's just like
figure.
Jungle Man, isn't it? So part of me's thinking, is he actually going to turn up for this game?
Jungle Man is confirmed, Laura. Stop sending our viewers away. This isn't a maybe, guys. Definitely, 100%
better be.
Confirmed, unequivocally, Jungle Man is playing on the GPL tonight. You saw the times there. I'll confirm those times. 5 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Central European time. We're heading into the jungle. A bear will be fighting a wolverine.
Oh,
one real-life creature
we didn't mention
against
Andre
one fictional
Petrucci either.
Yeah, Andre Petrucci. We saw him twice in the 6 max matches last night.
Pretty good.
A player certainly knows what he's doing. EPT champion, WPT champion.
I interviewed him when he won that EPT.
San Remo, 2011.
Boom.
Boom.
And he won a Boca Award, actually, which I interviewed him for as well.
What was that award?
I think it was Best Newcomer after he won the EPT.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very consistent performer. And, I mean, he embodies what the...
I don't think it was San Remo. I think it was Deauville.
Oh, just check your stats. He's a very consistent performer, is Andre Petrucci, and he embodies what the Moscow Wolverines are all about. They're a player, probably a team with the fewest star names. I mean, of course, they've got Filatov and Banovic, but they're consistent, and that's why they're at the top of the Eurasian standings. And we are going to Game 3.
Oh,
George
hello.
Danzer,
Look, this could
Timothy
be
Adams.
it, George. You've got jacks, good first hand. George, look at your hand. Look at it. Oh, I thought he was going to get carried away doing something else then.
Let's go for the last one.
Let's do it. Yes.
Imagine we'll see a call here from Tim. Very nice heads-up hand on the button. Oh, dear.
Oh, my gosh. This...
Good
this
God.
is so... Yeah, but look. George has got one diamond here. George has got one diamond. We could see another diamond here. So this could be a hand.
I'm really worried about like the jack of clubs falling on the turn.
Come on, I want to see another diamond.
I mean, trying to think of ways where George can get away from this. Possibly an ace or a king. Let's see, Tim raised, called. Possibly a queen. Love George Danzer.
Come on,
Love
let's see a
Timothy
diamond.
Adams.
Let's see a diamond. Another diamond, another diamond, another diamond. Let George have one. Does he have it? George is thinking. He can't quite make his mind up.
This is hand one of this final game. George making the call.
No diamond. No diamond. Help, George.
And, I mean, there are certain scenarios where I could see possibly even more chips going in. I can't really see how George gets away from this. Interesting to see what sizing Tim goes for. Goes for just under half pot. And
so yeah, this one's very interesting. We have to check call the turn, and then on the river, depending on the river, of course, it's check fold or check call. I don't think it's correct to check raise induce here or check push to take away his outs.
George almost certainly going to see a river card here. We'll need a diamond.
No diamond.
No diamond for George.
3 doesn't matter because he's not calling
get away?
5-9 against my 3-bet.
Tim almost certainly be looking to get these last remaining 20,000 in, and this could be all over on hand one. George is a non-believer.
Just
Very
to
interesting
recall the
spot.
push, and it's quite bad because he should be bluffing. I think the best hand for him to do that would be like king queen with a king or a queen of diamonds. That's the exact hand where he should raise, bet the turn, and ship the river as a bluff.
There it goes.
How often does he have that exact hand? King queen with one of diamonds. And what are the hands he's doing that? Because the other hands that have a draw on the flop are 6-7, not of diamonds, because he wouldn't call 6-7 off against my 3-bet. So he has 6-7 of diamonds, makes a flush, he plays like that for value, right? Would he do that with 6-7 of another color? 6-7 of hearts, 6-7 of
again. Called his hand.
Clubs, 6-7 of spades. I guess not. It's not a good hand to do that. It's much better to do it with king queen. With one diamond. So how many combinations is that?
I wish I had George's brain and hair.
King queen. It's 16 total combinations, right?
We're getting the
So
room
it's
ready, guys.
8 combinations.
Ow.
Commentator on commentator violence.
Does he call me with king 10 off the 3-bet? Let's say a couple of times, and then he only does it if the king is of diamonds. Let's say it's 10 combinations. And how often does he bluff here? 10 combinations. Value bets. He calls all suited aces, right? So there's already... He does it with all the sets. 3s, 5s, 9s.
An hour later.
It's 1...
He's still going through the
3,
combination.
7, 7, ace, deuce, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10.
Look at Tim's
That's
face.
another 6
So
combinations. 13. 13. So he has 10 bluff combinations, 13 value combinations. Am I forgetting anything?
Is he forgetting anything, Roland?
George is thinking on levels beyond which I can even comprehend.
And what are the odds I'm getting? Pot is 71, 28. I'm good here and around. %40 of the times.
Getting the calculator
40%
out.
of the time,
I
I'm
think
right.
so.
Half of the time.
I think I'm good around 40% of the times here, and I'm getting.
Tim's confidently putting away some salad while he waits to find out whether he'll have
I only need
71,000.
30%. It's a call. It's a call.
George does the maths, and we'll
And
get the
yes,
bad
6 7
news.
of diamonds. That was one of the hands.
Oh.
Good game. Good game. Timothy played very well. Got the perfect setups. And, that's it. GG.
You and that brew. He's already tried to knock me out, poke me eye out with it.
Well, there we go. 3-0, Timothy Adams.
It's a sweep!
That match lasted precisely one hand.
That
that
was
final match.
such a quick
game. I mean, I kind of saw it coming. Tim with the suited connectors, George with the jacks, and well, he just flopped a flush.
I mean, it was so great to see into George's mind,
I know,
and exactly what he goes through when deciding whether to make that fold or call.
It was pretty impressive. I mean, and he's huddled down there on his with his notes and his calculator, and you want him to just win just based on that little monologue where he went through all the possible hands.
Do you do that when you're playing?
I'm more of a feel player. I don't really. I'm just either like screw this guy or like I'm gonna fold like he's a net. But incredible, mind and incredible insight into the mind of George. He didn't make the right decision, but mathematically probably the correct decision given all the scenarios he laid out. But at the end of the day, 9 points for the Rome Emperors, and they're going to go up to 142 points. They're going to be 2 points behind the Paris Aviators. Really needed the points. Max Pescatore will be wherever he is. I think is he in Vegas? He's going to have
in Vegas yesterday.
He's going to have a big old grin on his face.
Might dye his hair even more different colours.
Really great week. We saw a real nice comeback in the America standings from Anton Wigg and the San Francisco Rush. Going to take a look at the standings right away.
Do we not get to talk to Tim?
Well,
he's too busy feeding himself.
Tim doesn't give away much. Didn't see a smile out of Tim. Didn't see any emotion.
No,
very stoic, our Tim.
9
Anyway,
points
Rome Emperors are off the bottom.
Word. They've been on the bottom for so long.
And now it's up to the Jungle Man.
Well done, Timothy Adams. Good going. 9 points. Now they are up to 5th. However, we still have Berlin Bears to watch. Jungle Man is up next. So if Jungle Man wins one game, just one game, they will be level pegging Rome and Berlin. But if Jungle Man can win 2 games, they will go back into 5th place.
Yeah, well, they've got level actually with the Paris Aviators. If Jungle Man can win 2 of those games,
that's true.
What's Jungle Man going to do? We've established he's definitely going to show up. Is he going to take down Andrei Petachuk?
I don't know. I can't decide on this one.
Interesting. Yeah, you never quite know what jungle you're going to get. Going to take a look at the top scorers, I believe.
Yeah, let's take a look at the top scorers.
There we go. Nanonoko.
Oh, we have a new entry. Hello. Igor.
Igor
Hello,
Kurganov.
Anton.
All these guys have played either 11 or 12 games, so they are amongst the players who've played more often. But there we see Igor up into the top 6. Nanonoko, although he was taken down by Igor Kurganov, adding 3 points to his total points tally. All chasing behind the man of the moment, Olivier Busquet, who's played one game fewer and up there on 56 points, along
I'm
with.
surprised actually that Liv's not on there. She's scored so many points.
Liv is probably not far off after putting in a lot of. Really big fan of the number 7, which is the maximum points you can score in those six max matches. Of course, these guys tend to this top scorers league tends to favour the heads up players just because there's 9 possible points available during heads up, and you can often get 6 points.
Apart from Fedor Holtz, who hasn't really played much heads up.
No, Fedor is a
He's
completely
just an
different
enigma
ball
on his
game,
own, yeah.
and he really knows how to put points on the board. We are 2 and a bit weeks away from the GPL playoffs. All the all the qualifying players will be off to Vegas. Top 4 teams qualifying in each conference.
There it is.
And here we see the format of the players. And just to take you through it, we will be awarding chip bonuses in day 1 for the teams coming first, second and third in their league on a sliding scale. 30% bonus for the team winning each conference, 20% bonus for the team coming second, 10% for the team coming third. That's off an initial starting stack of 100k.
Is that like a Brucey bonus?
Indeed. Or a Dreyfus bonus.
A Dreyfus bonus.
Yeah. And conference champion will be crowned on day 2 of the playoffs, and those bonuses will be carried forward. So crowning the conference champion on day 2, and then that final match, day 3 of the playoffs, 1st of December, I believe it is. Winning team in each conference playing off against each other. Completely level starting stack, 500k apiece, and that $100,000 first prize to the winner. That is $100,000.
What would you do with $100,000?
I'd invest in Maltese government bonds. Very safe Maltese government bonds, yielding about 0.5% per annum. Is that the answer you were looking for?
Exactly what I was looking for. If you want to keep up to date with everything Global Poker League related, you can do by downloading our app. You can catch all of the latest highlights, features, and of course past shows as well. Also keep up to date with your favorite teams and managers. It's available on iOS and on Android. And you can now purchase all of your favorite goodies from our fan shop. You can get baseball caps, t-shirts, and of course hoodies. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Go London Royals.
Unbiased.
Yeah, with neutrality of the commentary booth will not be compromised. I believe that's about it for this particular game.
That was such a quick one,
that
wasn't
was very
it?
quick.
You know, we didn't expect it
was
to be
over
that
before
quick.
it begun. Actually, it feels rather like.
Do you think Georgie Danzer's crying?
He's probably shedding a tear or two.
Yeah, but his imaginary friend.
At least he's got someone washing dishes in his. At least he's got a skivvy to. At least he doesn't have to go and wash any saucers. Anyway, join us again later for Jungle Man against Patashuk.
It is going to be an absolutely epic match. I can't wait. Jungle Man is going to be here for the Berlin Bears versus Andrei Petachuk of the Moscow Wolverines. It's coming up in around 1 hour 30. So do bear with us. I'm sure we're going to have some really fun stuff to entertain you on this break, though. Some strategy videos, perhaps, and maybe
even a quiz.
Oh, yeah. Quiz and strategy.
What more could you want?
You stay right here where you know it's hot. Maybe grab yourself a little pizza slice, something like that. Bash your gong.
Bash your dog.
Bash
do
your
not promote
dog.
animal cruelty on the GPL.
Happy
Mike
birthday,
Leah would be
Mango.
outraged.
Yeah. So go and entertain yourself. We will be back here in just around 1 hour 30, and that match is gonna be epic. Bye.